Next week in EastEnders, emotions are running high as Walford says goodbye to Nigel Bates. But what should be a time for family support quickly turns into chaos when the Mitchells discover that Mark Fowler has been taken hostage. While Phil and Grant Mitchell desperately try to find him, Mark is caught up in serious trouble with a dangerous drugs gang after falling into huge debt. In a bid to raise the £30,000 he owes, he pulls Lauren Beale into a risky car scam that could make matters even worse. Back in the square, Julie Bates struggles through Nigel's funeral with support from Josh Saunders and Clare Bates, while the Mitchell brothers remain distracted by the search for Mark. Elsewhere, Oscar Branning finds himself stuck between two romances once again. Gina Knight becomes increasingly uneasy about Eddie's return, and Denise Fox begins suffering more alarming symptoms ahead of a devastating health diagnosis. EastEnders airs these dramatic scenes between Monday 18th May and Thursday 21 May.
5 EastEnders spoilers for next week when Max Branning learns that several vintage cars linked to the business have been discovered burnt out in a quarry. Lauren confronts Mark Fowler, but after Sam Mitchell provides him with a fake alibi, suspicion quickly falls on Max instead. As Lauren struggles financially and worries about paying for baby Jimmy's nursery, Mark tempts her into helping with a dodgy car scam for quick money. But with a dangerous £30,000 debt still hanging over him, things soon spiral out of control. Grant Mitchell offers financial help after selling his bar in Portugal, but Mark refuses, determined to fix the situation himself. However, the gang he owes money to issue a chilling warning, forcing him into desperate measures. Just as guilt begins catching up with him, masked men suddenly abduct Mark and drive him away. The next morning, the Mitchells realise Mark is missing on the day of Nigel Bates' funeral. While Phil, Grant and Billy race to find him, crime boss Russell Delaney demands full payment of the debt, leaving the family fearing the worst. Meanwhile, Lauren proudly gives Max money from the car sales, but he grows suspicious about where the vehicles came from. After later discovering Mark's keys, Max starts questioning Priya about what really happened.
2. Oscar Branning struggles to keep his distance from Josh Goodwin. Oscar Branning's complicated love life takes another dramatic turn next week when he spends time in the park with girlfriend Jasmine Fisher and her twin brother Josh Goodwin. The trio initially enjoy a fun childhood game together, but it soon becomes clear that Oscar's feelings for Josh are growing stronger. Tensions rise when Jasmine discovers that Josh once played the same game with his adoptive mum Sandra, leaving her upset and storming off. Later, Oscar comforts a guilty Josh, and the pair end up sharing an intense moment before deciding it's best to keep their distance. But Oscar struggles to move on, later opening up to Penny Branning about what happened. His jealousy also becomes impossible to hide when he sees Josh chatting with another man in the Prince Albert.
Gina Knight is worried about Eddie. With Eddie now living at number 1, Eddie's presence continues to cause tension within the Knight family. Gina opens up to her dad George about her growing concerns, making it clear that she wants nothing to do with her racist adoptive grandfather. What Gina doesn't realise is that Nicola Mitchell only agreed to let Eddie stay because he stepped in to rescue her struggling businesses from financial ruin. But as suspicions continue to build next week, could Gina finally uncover the truth?
Denise Fox struggles ahead of her blood cancer diagnosis. A devastating health storyline is beginning to unfold for Denise Fox as viewers see her continuing to struggle with worrying symptoms that she can no longer ignore. Over recent weeks, Sam Mitchell is among the first to notice that something isn't right and encourages Denise to seek medical advice before her condition gets any worse. Although Denise tries to stay positive and carry on as normal, it soon becomes clear that her tiredness is far more serious than simple stress or overwork.
In scenes airing next week, Denise helps Sam prepare food for the Mitchell family, but even simple tasks begin taking a toll on her. She admits she's been feeling unusually drained lately, though she continues brushing off concerns and insists she's fine. However, her symptoms continue to worsen, leaving her loved ones fearing that something serious may be going on. Viewers already know that Denise is heading towards a heartbreaking diagnosis, as she will later learn she's suffering from acute myeloid leukemia, a form of blood cancer. The emotional storyline is expected to have a huge impact on Denise and her family as they face an uncertain future together.
5. Clare Bates and Josh Saunders return for Nigel Bates' funeral. It's a deeply emotional week in EastEnders as Walford says goodbye to one of its most beloved residents. Nigel Bates has sadly passed away from pneumonia following complications linked to his young onset dementia, leaving the square devastated in the aftermath of his loss. Despite the heartbreak, long-term viewers will find comfort in a rare and touching family reunion, as Julie is finally reunited with her son Josh and stepdaughter Clare after nearly 3 decades apart. Gemma Bissix reprises her role as Clare, while S Club's John Lee returns as Josh for the first time since 1998, making the occasion even more significant for fans. On the morning of the funeral, Phil and Julie are interrupted by the emotional arrival of Josh and Clare. Julie is still struggling with the pressure of writing Nigel's eulogy, but with the support of Phil and her family, she slowly finds the strength to put together a heartfelt tribute to her late husband. Later, at the church, mourners gather to pay their respects as the service gets underway. In a quiet, emotional moment, Phil and Julie share a touching exchange, reflecting on their shared grief. However,